All right, we are live. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a good Saturday morning. Hope you get a chance to actually enjoy the weekend. And if you are currently building anything, right, I hope you find some time to actually continue building. I believe it was Jim Rohn. He has this quote that goes, I forget, it's something along the lines of discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. So use your Saturday wisely to build, something like that, something along those lines. I hope I'm not. I hope I haven't butchered. I haven't butchered the quote, but it's something along those lines. If I'm off or wrong, I'm pretty sure it's pretty close. Good morning, Ellis the Creddy. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. I believe your name is Ellis. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know. My name is Christian, by the way, for those of you who are joining or meeting me for the first time. I am a digital and affiliate marketer, and one of the things that I do is I like to come on here and help individuals who are interested in getting started earning an income online using digital marketing and affiliate marketing. Okay. So drop a one in the chat if you are familiar with the idea, the notion of people making money with affiliate marketing and digital marketing. Drop a one in the chat if you know about, if you know what affiliate marketing is, basically. If you know what affiliate marketing is, drop a one in the chat. All right. Drop a one in the chat. And by the way, if you see me looking both ways, like like constantly flipping my head from left to right, good morning, Tasha. It's because I'm on two different platforms and I'm basically trying to monitor the chats on the two different platforms, hoping that I don't miss anybody's questions or anybody's comments. Okay. Good morning, El Chico de las. El Chico de las. Where are you, El Chico de las? Let's see. Victoria, I guess is your name. All right, live liftoff. All right, guys, let's just wait and see if we start getting a few more people come through. Make your mark. Good morning. Make your mark. Hope you're doing well. What is your name? Make your mark. What is your name? Make your mark today. And what are you into? What kind of stuff are you into? Like, are you in the digital marketing space by chance? Yes or no? Good morning, Coco. All right, guys. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's go ahead and get started. For those who are already in here, or if anyone that is listening on the outside of the room, I just learned about this thing they called ghost watchers, which is kind of interesting. Apparently, these are, like here on TikTok, these are people who are sitting on the outside of your live. They can see that you're actually in actively going live, but they don't come into the room because they don't want you to know that they've come in, right? They're sitting on the outside watching in and paying attention. That is for those of you who have ever been interested in getting on live, like on TikTok and all that type stuff. Even if you don't have anybody inside the room, or at least even if it seems like there's nobody in the room, just keep going doing what you're doing, because there's sometimes, a lot of times, you'll have people that are watching on the outside. Okay. Welcome, Pascal. Welcome, La Rosa. Welcome, Nana Mimi. Welcome, Wow Lavelle. Welcome, Jorge Paria. Jorge Paria. Liza, Sonny, Godad. Oh, Sonia Goddard. I'm guessing that's the name. But anyway, guys, so what we're doing here, okay? And by the way, for those of you on, Croatian Lady Bob, I got a Croatian friend as well. For those of you that are here on TikTok, please go ahead. Don't forget to tap on the screen. Tap on the screen. Don't forget to tap on the screen. Let's help to get this, push this out further wide for those who, to get it out to more people. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. That was Amber Brooks. Thank you so much, Amber. Now, and by the way, for those of you who are coming in on TikTok, if you are one of those people that is actually interested in going on lives, doing lives and all that, it's very important when you come in here that you are active. Tap on the screen, TikTok likes to see that, know that you're not bots. And when you engage, right, not only does it help the creator appreciate that, Croatian Lady Bob, not only does it help the creator, but it also helps you as well, right? This shows you as an active user and someone that actually engages. So when you do decide to go live and do your stuff or publish your content, right, TikTok is also going to reward you in kind by exposing you as well, right? So for those of you that are here, please make sure you're tapping on the screen, tap on my nose, tap 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 it up, right, so we can push this out a little bit more. All right. So, for anybody that has any questions for me, just feel free to tap them as feel free to enter your questions as I go through and I'm explaining everything that's happening. Feel free to drop your questions in the chat, and if for whatever reason I don't see them, just because, like I mentioned, I'm monitoring two different screens, two different chats. If for whatever reason I don't get it, and you really want that answer, just remember that you can always also reach me through the DMs. Okay, just DM me. I'll get your message and I will be sure to respond. Okay, I always get back to everybody that can. Laleen, it is so good to see you, Laleen. It's been a while. It's been a while. I just, it is so funny. I'm surprised. It's really interesting to see you here. I don't know if you, um, I can't remember if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, Laleen. But anyway, it's been a while. I know we spoke a while back. I'm not sure if you even, it's been so long, I'm not even sure if you remember. So, but anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into all this stuff, right? So, digital marketing and affiliate marketing. All right. So, what is digital marketing to begin with? I always start with that for the simple fact that in our little space, okay, and like in the little space, little sub niche that I'm in, a lot of people have been misled into believing or have been misled into erroneously thinking that digital marketing is solely and only about promoting digital products, okay? Specifically courses, if I'm even being, if I even niche it down to, if I'm even being more specific, right? And that could not be the furthest thing from the truth. Okay, digital marketing goes way beyond just, it's not only and solely about promoting digital products, right? Digital marketing is basically the promotion of anything, like the marketing of anything online. So it could be a physical product, it could be a digital product, could be a brick and mortar store, it could be a brand, could be a, like a brick and mortar business. It could be yourself, like as a personal brand, right? As long as you're doing it online, you are engaging in digital marketing. Okay. Now, affiliate marketing, on the other hand, is a very simple business model that allows regular individuals like you and I to promote other people's or other businesses' products and services in return for an affiliate commission every single time we help them generate sales or leads, depending on whatever the affiliate agreement is. And this is going to be based on our digital marketing efforts. Okay, because even when you're doing affiliate marketing, you will have your own a link that is unique to you and only you. And the best way to go about putting that link out and promoting it so people can buy, click on it and buy from it, is through digital marketing, right? And we do that predominantly online. And nowadays, as complete beginners, one of the best ways to get started doing this, digital marketing, in terms of like getting our eyeballs on whatever it is that we're promoting, whether it's our products or other people's products, is going to be through the various different social media platforms. Okay. The various social media platforms is going to be the quickest and easiest way to start getting eyeballs on your stuff. Okay. Whatever it is that you're promoting. All right. And that's the reason why we go that route. All right. Now, as a beginner, right? If you're wondering, if you're wanting to get started with this stuff, right, you're probably wondering to yourself, like, okay, well, you don't have any product of your own, you don't have any service of your own that you want to provide and all that, which is perfectly fine. Which is why I always encourage people to go the route of affiliate marketing, right? Because there are already products out there that are doing well, selling well, are proven to convert, and they're products that people want, right? So all we're doing is piggybacking on the success of those products and basically jumping, skipping a bunch of steps, right? That product owners and creators have to go through, right? As an affiliate, we don't have to worry about creating our own product or providing our own service, right? We don't have to worry about dealing with shipping and handling, right? Customer returns, customer complaints, customer service, period, right? We don't have to worry about managing inventory and all that type of stuff. Laleen, glad to see you again. It's been such a long time. It's so funny. I was looking at our conversation a couple days ago, and I was just wondering to myself, like I was just wondering if you ever came around to finding or getting into something that you might have been interested in. It's been I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you remember talking to me at all. Like you had been on one of my lives a while back, and I was just wondering to myself, I wonder if you even do remember me. I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Not yet. Okay, good, good. Okay, gotcha. Well, one of the things that I do as well, Laleen, well, at least one of the things that I mean, you do remember. I'm glad to hear that. If I forget, but if I remember correctly, are you in San Francisco? Is that right? Were you like in California? If not San Francisco, you were on the West Coast. Do I remember that correctly? You're in San Francisco, is that right? Yes. All right. I'm so proud of myself. I'm not even going to pretend. I am so proud of myself right now because I am not necessarily the greatest in the world when it comes to like names and place. Maybe I don't give myself enough credit, but I'm pretty proud of myself right now. I like that I remember that. But yeah. So like again for and this goes for anybody. This is not just Laline, right? Anybody that is ever interested in any of this stuff and you want to talk about it or you have questions, I'm an open book. I'm free, like I'm available to answer people, like to help people. And I actually have, you can reach me through Laline. If you want to ever talk, I've got you're one of the few that I would extend this to, right? Just because we have some kind of rapport history. I do have my business line as well. If you ever want to like text or call or get more information, learn some stuff, right? I do. That is something that I will extend to you. So if you do want it, just send me a DM, and if you want a little more guidance as far as like which way to go and how to go about doing stuff, I'll give that to you. Okay. But for everyone else, you got to earn that. Laline has earned that. I'll tell you that. But just because at least it's always nice when you come on these lives and you see you're so welcome, Lali. And when you come on these lives and you see familiar faces of people who have come back, right? So at least it to a certain degree, and this goes for anybody who decides to get started with this stuff, right? I need you to know as well that this goes for like you first and foremost. If you're one of those people that does feels maybe a little shy, do not think that you have to come on lives in order to like promote whatever it is that you're promoting, right? You see a lot of people they're on lives doing this stuff. This is just one of so many different ways, which I'm going to get into in this live and share with you guys and show you how to go about doing this stuff, right? Going live is just one of many ways, right? But it is quite an effective way because it is one of the, as opposed to like just say posting content like pictures or videos and all that, right? Because when you come on live, people get a sense of who you are as a person, okay? And you also get to answer questions in real time, and it's a quicker way for people to get to know you, okay? When it comes to anything that you're promoting, anything that you're selling, right? One of the things, because people buy from people, and one of the things that you need to know is that you need to develop that know, like, and trust factor, okay? Just think about this picture for a quick scenario, right? If you were out on the street and some random person came up to you with some CDs or whatever, something, right, that they're trying to sell to you, and they're like, hey, look at this, I got this, blah blah blah. Oh, this stuff is so great, like it's amazing, blah. Okay, you want it? You want it low? I'm selling it just for $5. Would you would your initial reaction would be like, okay, get away from me, I don't know you, like what is this and all that, okay? Now, if let's say your best friend, your mother, father, or brother, sister, or somebody close, like people that came to you on the street with that exact same message, exact same thing per product that they're promoting, whatever that is, you will actually lend an ear, okay? And you may not want to buy it, but at least you'll even give them the time of day, right? And you may actually buy it just because it's somebody that you like, and you trust, and you know that they wouldn't lead you astray, right? Because they would want something that's good for you. It's the same kind of thing online. So that's one of the things that going live helps to do, is to build that trust, build that rep. And again, like I said, that is not to say you need to go live. You absolutely don't need to. I know people who have made thousands, actually millions even, of dollars just without ever going live, without ever showing their face on camera, right? Like through videos and content, right? Like they just have pages where they're posting content with just B-roll footage and text on screen and all that type of stuff. Nobody ever knows who they are, right? And they are generating millions, right? So there's ways to do this, right? But if you're one of those people that is actually not so shy, like for someone like me, this is a huge deal, right? This is a huge deal, being able to come on live and start talking, because I used to be like the shyest person, right? Like it was one of those things that, and even right now, like I still struggle with this stuff. As you can tell, I'm not that great of a speaker. I stumble, stutter my words and all that type of stuff, but I've learned to not care about that stuff. And you know what? Like any other thing, you're gonna get better, right? Even if you don't do lives, even if you're just doing like promoting stuff online and all that, just through content, even when you get started, you're gonna suck, right? You're not gonna be good, right? But you're gonna get better, like anything else. Okay, like anything else. If you do something for long enough, it is just not possible for you to not improve a little bit, right? So keep that in mind. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into like essentially the four steps, right? The four basic and simple steps that you need to go through in order to start earning an income online. Okay, first and foremost, you're going to need to start with, okay, so step one, right? Step one is essentially a niche. Okay, before we even get into step one, right? Before we even get into step one, there are two things that I need to point out, right? Well, actually, I'll get to that, right? So step one, you're going to need a niche, right? And if you're wondering what a niche is, in very simple terms, right, it is just like your own little corner of the internet. Like it's like a category type of, like an industry, right? Like a particular field, right? A particular topic in essence, right? And that is something that you're going to have to pick. Let me just to give like some examples, right? I'll just give you, like, for example, the three big niches, right? If you're one of those people that's completely lost, you're not even sure what direction you want to go. If you go in any one of these three niches, you're likely to do well, because those are like the biggest ones where billions of dollars exchange hands. Okay, so you've got the health and fitness niche. Okay, anything to do with your health, getting better, for men who want to build bigger muscles, women who want to lose weight or look lean, whatever the case may be, or any learning how, sleeping better, eating better, anything in relation to your health and being more healthy is going to be within the health and fitness niche, right? Everybody wants to stay healthy. Everybody wants to live longer, right? So that's that. The next one, right? And these are not in any particular order. Like I'm just giving you like the three big ones, right? The three big ones that if you go into any one of these three, you're going to like you're sure that you've got a good niche. Okay. The next one is going to be your wealth niche, right? And that is going to have anything to do with, getting richer, building your net worth, or whatever the case may be, making money, right? So, example, like you've got like whether it's like real estate, right? Finance, starting a business, making like what I'm talking about now, making money online, personal finance, right? Budgeting, whatever, anything in relation to wealth and becoming more making more money, in essence, becoming richer, becoming wealthier, whatever the case may be. Okay, starting a business, whatever, right? And then the last one is going to be relationships. Okay, everybody wants to have some kind of good relationship, right? And this is not limited to only romantic relationships, right? Of course, a lot of for the most part, a lot of people, guys want to find a girlfriend, girls want to have a boyfriend, some guys want a boyfriend, some girls want a girlfriend, right? Whatever your inclination is, right? It's not just limited to that. Okay, we're also looking at, it can also be platonic relationships, right? Like with your friend, like how to build better relationships with your friends, and and when, how to be able to influence people, right? This is all in relation to relationships, right? It could be like father son relationships, wife, sorry, not wife, mother daughter, grandfathers and their grandkids, right? Learning how to build better relationships with your grandkids. So the directions you can go are endless, but those are the three big ones. All right. So health and fitness, wealth, and relationships. Now, that is not to say that those are the only three niches or categories that you can make money in, right? You can do that in so many other different niches. Like if you have any particular hobbies or things that you're interested in, if you have a passion for anything, it's going to be easier to operate in that niche just because it's something that you already love. Okay. You've got the area of sports, for example. If there's a particular sport that you enjoy, golf is like a huge niche. A lot of people are very interested in learning how to get better at golf or learn how to get better at tennis, right? Coaching their kids at soccer and all those things. So those are all different. Those are different niches right there. You might love gardening, right? I'm just throwing things out here just to spark your memory, give you ideas, okay? Right? Give you ideas of different things that you can get into. Like you'll believe it or not, basket weaving, knitting, right? Pimple popping and some so like the craziest, weirdest things, right? But I'm saying weirdest, right? It might be weird to me, but there's a whole community of people that are so into that stuff. Okay. So there are so many different areas that any expertise you have in your life or experience, if you've solved any problems, whatever the case may be, you can package that knowledge into a digital product. Okay. So those are the niches. You're going to have to find your niche to begin with. Okay. As a beginner, right? As a beginner, those top three that I mentioned, those are going to be, if you're not really sure where to go, those top three are the ones where a lot of the money is made. Okay. Now that's step one of 4 steps that I'm going to go through in this video. Okay. In this live. Step two, right? The next thing you're going to need after you've decided what niche you're going to go into is you're going to need a product. Okay. If you are going to sell anything, if you're going to make any kind of earn any kind of income, you need to be able to sell something, right? You need a product or you got to provide some kind of service, right? Because money's only made when it exchanges hands, right? And you've got to provide something of value to somebody else that is going to see enough value in it to the point where they're willing to pull out their wallet and spend some money. Okay. So you're going to need a product. Now, this is where you're going to have to make a decision between two things, but I will tell you which way is the better way that I believe is the better way for beginners who have no experience to get started, who are looking to make as much, make as much money as soon as possible. Okay. When it comes to products and services that you're providing, right? You can either go the route of with product, you can either go the route of promoting digital products, okay, or you can go the route of promoting physical products, right? Now, there's on top of that, you can go the route of creating your own product if you want to, or providing your own service, or you can go the route of an affiliate whereby you are promoting somebody else's product and or service, right? And two things I always recommend that people, beginners start out going the affiliate route, okay? Because as an affiliate, you do not need to you don't need to go through the headaches and all the, intricacies that are involved in running your own full-fledged business where you have to create your own product, right? Deal with managing inventory and shipping and handling, customer service, and all that type stuff, right? So there's that. So one of the two things I always recommend people start out as an affiliate, and then the second thing too, when choosing between a physical or a digital product, I also recommend that beginners go the route of promoting digital products. Okay, if you're looking to earn as quickly as possible for the same amount of effort, and the reason I say that is because with physical products, the margins on physical products are really small. Okay. So for even the vendors themselves, right, the owners of those physical products, their margins are pretty small already. And for in case anybody doesn't understand what I mean by margins, I'm just simply talking about the difference between what it costs the vendor to make that physical product versus the markup, the price at which they sell it for. That difference, that's the margin right there, and that's where their profit comes from. And on physical products, the margins tend to be pretty small. So coming in as an affiliate means that the only amount of money you're going to be looking to make is within that already small margin. Okay. So if a vendor is only making a small amount, and you're coming in, they can only afford to, like reward you with a small percentage of the sale of that product. Okay. Don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean you can't make a lot of money with physical products. You can. The only difference is you're going to have to sell a boatload of products, right? A lot. You see people on TikTok Shop and all that, right? People are on TikTok Shop. They're making like crazy amounts of, right? Crazy amounts, like, millions, right? But the thing is, you're going to have to sell a lot of things, a lot of stuff. You got to do a lot of promotion, okay? Whereas with digital products, the margins are way higher. On physical products, vendors you'll probably earn like commissions of maybe 1%, 2%, 3%, and maybe 10% if you're lucky, right? Whereas with digital products, you will earn commissions as high as, like, 30%, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, even 100%. Okay. And if you're wondering to yourself, why on, like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would the creator of a product give you 100% commission? Like, how do they make money? Well, they know their numbers, right? They know their numbers that on average, each customer they get, on average over a span of time, they make X amount of dollars from them. So they know that even if they're giving you 100% on the front end, they have their customers' information, and on the back end, they can continue following up and promoting other products, and that's where their real money is made. Okay. So they know that they can do that, and they will be happy to give a 100% commission to affiliates to attract more of them to come in and reward them on the front end, knowing that on the back end they're going to make so much money on average from those customers. Okay. So that's the thing. So let me paint this picture for you with digital products and physical products, right? If you were to sell, let's just say, for example, as a brand new beginner, you're looking to make your first $1,000 as quickly as possible. Okay. With a physical product, that, let's just say it's a $10 physical product, right, that you're slinging on TikTok or whatever, on TikTok Shop or wherever it is that you decide to promote, Amazon, whatever the case may be, right? You got a $10 product, and let's just say they're going, even with the highest commission, I shouldn't say highest, let's just say they're going with a very high commission, which is high for a physical product, as high as, let's say, 10%. So for each $10 product that you promote and sell, you're going to make $1, right? So in order to make 1,000, right, you're gonna have to sell 1,000 different units of that physical, that $10 physical product, right? 1,000, right? That's a lot. That's a lot of product that you got to move. Whereas with a digital product, let's just say a typical digital product that's, let's just say, for example, it's and I'm saying this from a product that I've actually promoted. For example, a $2,500 digital product, right, which is like a training, a course, and all, and that's cheap, by the way, right? Compared to what, like, places like Harvard and all that. You can go look it up right now. Harvard has like digital products that, courses and stuff that they sell. They see the power of digital marketing and affiliate marketing. They teach that stuff now. Their course is like an 8,500. I think it's like an 80. Yeah, 80. Yeah, 8,500, is it? Yeah, 8,500 for like 6 weeks or something like that. But anyway, let me not go off on a tangent. So let's just say a $2,500 product, and they're paying like a 40% commission. That's 1,000 right there. And you would have to just sell just one unit, and you've already made your 1,000. So for the same, and people, this is the misconception a lot of people have. People think that to sell a high ticket digital product, they've got to do a lot more work, that there's so much more work involved than, say, selling little smaller low ticket products, right? And that's not necessarily the case. Okay. For just about the same amount of effort, with at least the way we go about promoting online, which I'm going to show you, I'm going to go through that later on, right? um it's almost the same amount of stuff, right? So you would just have to sell one. Like, even if, let's just say, you were selling a $1,000 product, for example, and as an affiliate, and the owner of the product is giving you, is rewarding us with, like, say, a 50% commission. Okay, all you need to do is sell that product twice, right? So 50% of 1,000, that's 500. So on each sale, you're earning a $500 commission. And on the two, and with two sales, you've made your 1,000, just like that. Okay, as opposed to trying to sell 1,000 units of a small $10 product that's only paying 10%, right? And you're earning only $1 per sale. Okay, so I think you guys get the picture there. I would hope, right? How, like, in terms of, like, seeing how much quicker you can do stuff, even with digital products. Like, an example of a digital product, I guess you could consider a digital product that I promote, right, is with a bank. Like, you guys, you probably heard of SoFi, for example, right? Like, it's like a major, like, personal finance, tech company type stuff, and they provide for, like, financial services and all that, right? So that's kind of like a digital product, right? It's a and they have, like, high yield. One of their products that they provide, one of their very popular ones, is like a high yield savings account, as opposed to, say, keeping your savings in a regular brick and mortar account that pays literally nothing these days, right? You have it in a high yield savings account that has interest rates of, like, say, I think right now they're running around 3.75, 3.8, somewhere there, right? So that's an example of one, right? And for each person that I refer to open an account with them, that opens a $50 that deposits $50 into the account, I earn a $100 commission. Okay, and that is one of the that's an easy sell to make, right, for a lot of people, right? Like, when you show people the difference between how much money they could be making every month on the same amount of money that they're keeping in their brick and mortar bank, that is earning them next to nothing in interest, right? How much more they could be making for doing nothing, having it inside there, right? And even so, for each person that I refer, I'm getting like $100 commission. So I would only have to refer 10 people, and I've just made my 1,000 right there. Okay, and that it's like, that's just the difference. With digital products, you're gonna have higher commissions in general. Okay, so that's where you're now. For now, the one, like, the product that one of the products that is probably my biggest money maker now, right? A digital product that I promote is one called Digital Wealth Academy, right? And which is where I've learned majority all the stuff, a lot of the stuff that I've learned, right? Like, where I saw a lot of success, I've seen a lot of people and tons of other people having success. It's Digital Wealth Academy. The course is like, it's like a $497 course, right? Which, if you decided you want to get into it today, you wouldn't even have to pay that up front, right? They have, like, payment plans and all that type of stuff. But anyway, they are, once, one of the things that they give you, they teach, like, digital, how to do digital marketing, and they teach you, like, 15 different ways to make an income online. And one of those 15 is you being able to be an affiliate for them, and they pay like an 85% commission. So on every one of those sale, on every course sale that I make, I'm earning an 85% commission, which translates to roughly $422, right, and 45 cents. So three of those, and you've already made your 1,000, right? So that's why, like, for people who are just starting, I always recommend that you go the digital product route. And it can be, and there's digital products in all kinds of different niches, right? All kinds of niches, right? There's digital products that teach, like I said, like relationships, for example, right? There are digital products that teach people, like, as an example, right, like, guys, how to do a better job of attracting women. Oh, hey, Mo, glad to see you in here. I appreciate you tapping on the screen. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mo. Thank you. I hope you're doing well this morning. um so, like I was saying, guys, there are digital products in all kinds of different niches, and this is as an example. If you want to, yep, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Mo. As an example, right, this is information, guys, that I'm giving you, that you can take and go off and actually start implementing and doing stuff. So actually pay attention. Like, this is like free stuff that I'm telling you, right? If you want to go, like, one of the biggest marketplaces for digital products is a place called ClickBank, right? They have digital products in all kinds of niches, right? Like, where people have knowledge, expertise, experience, they package it and put it into digital products. They have digital products in there that are as low as like $27, $47, right? Manifestation is a huge niche, right? You can go into ClickBank, you will find like manifestation products, right, for people who are interested in manifestation and learning how to get better at that. People are interested in gardening, right? There are different categories, home and gardening, like there's stuff in there. Like you can just go explore, and any interest that you have, there's generally there's going to be something, a digital product out there about it that's doing pretty well that you can tap into. Okay. Another place is another one called Digistore. That's another place where you can go find. And by the way, these platforms, they're, you don't have to pay to join them, right? You can get on and start promoting products there, right? So, but the thing is, you need to know what you're doing, which is where having a course and training that teaches you how to do all this stuff, right, comes in handy. All right. And let me tell you this, okay? Like I will be the first to let you guys know, right? I'm not one of those people that will tell you that, oh, you must buy a course in order to succeed with digital marketing, affiliate marketing. That's not the, there are people, believe it or not, there are people who you can go out there and try to figure this out on your own. Go through, YouTube University and Google University and Google your way through and all that type of stuff and YouTube your way around and get little pieces of information here and there and try to patch it all together, right? From people that maybe don't necessarily even know what they're talking about. If you're a beginner, you don't even know what might be good or bad information, right? So these are all things to take into consideration, but it can be done. People have done it, but it's just going to be that much harder. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's basically what I'm saying, right? The difference between purchasing a course that is being taught with everything laid out step by step by step, taught by experts in the field who are like six-figure earners, seven-figure earners, and even an eight-figure earner that we have in there selling digital products, right? That's the difference. Like, you learn from people who are actively doing that stuff, okay? Who are actively doing it, and they know what they're talking about, and they're showing you everything step by step, okay? So that is something to keep. That's basically something to keep in mind. All right. So um where was I going with that? Yeah, so the difference between, trying to figure it out on your own versus trying to figure it out on your own versus getting a course is like maybe trying to get to some destination that's 30 miles away, trying to get there on foot, right? Versus getting in a car and getting there. So, right. You'll get there both ways, right? It's just one is going to take you longer than the other. And the thing is, with one of them, you might not even get there at all just because of how much harder it is, right? So keep that in mind. Now, that was step two, right? Step two is once you've gotten your product, right? You've chosen whatever product it is that you want to sell, right? The next thing that you're going to need is a platform, right? You're going to need some kind of platform on which to sell your product, whatever product it is that you decide to sell, whether it's one that you're creating yourself on your own, right? Whether it's one that you're creating yourself on your own, or whether it is one that you are promoting as an affiliate, okay? And a lot of times, even if you do go the affiliate, whichever route you decide to go, you're going to need some kind of place to house those products, right? And those will come with links that you would use to promote all over the internet, which is where the digital marketing comes into place, right? You use the digital marketing to promote your link, which people will find online, click on, and come to your storefront, and where they can see all the different products that you are promoting, whether you're promoting someone else's or whether you're promoting your own. Okay. And let me give you some examples of like different like storefronts that you can use, right, to promote all these products. um in fact, the more popular ones that people are using nowadays, right, you have like Stan Store is one as an example, right? You've got Beacons AI, Beacons.ai. You have Gumroad, that's another one, right? And then those are like the ones that most people are using these days when they get started, right? Then you have, and there's so many of them. Pilar is another one. You can use ClickFunnels, you can use Lead Pages, you can use Systeme.io, right? There are so many different ones. And at the end of the day, when getting started, it doesn't necessarily matter as much whichever one. Thank you, Rooted Realms. It doesn't necessarily matter as much whichever one you are using. Mo, I appreciate the love. Thank you so much. It doesn't really matter. Well, it does to a certain extent, but you just need to get going with one. Okay, you just need to get going with one. I will tell you, if so, Stan is one of those that does have a. Thank you. Royal Rising, I love it. Um, Stan is one of those that does have a free trial when you get started, but then after that, they do have like they have two tiers, like $30 a month, and then 90, I believe it's 97 or 99 a month or so, right? But then Beacons, on the other hand, and Gumroad, those are the ones that you can get started with for free. The only thing about them is that when you do eventually generate sales, they do take a pretty high percentage of the sale, right? Like a fee in essence for you being able to use their platform for free, right? So that's a good way to go to get started where you're not necessarily coming out of pocket with any, coming out of pocket with money, right? So you have that. Now, once you've gotten your store and platform and everything that you need, the next thing that you're going to need, which is the last thing and the place where most people get hung up, okay, is your audience, okay? Your audience, like getting an audience and essentially getting discovered online, right? And that's where the whole, like, where the digital marketing essentially comes into play, right? Getting your product to be seen, right? Getting your product to be seen by as many people as possible, right? In order so that you can generate sales. Because it doesn't matter at the end of the day, right? If you have, you can have the best product in the world, right? Provide the best service in the world, right? But if nobody knows about it, if nobody knows that it exists, you are not going to make any money at all, okay? If nobody knows that it exists, you're not going to make any money. That's just the bottom line. So you're going to have to get good, and it doesn't matter. The process, for the most part, the process is generally going to be the same for whether it is a product of your own that you're promoting or somebody else's as an affiliate, okay? You're going to have to learn how to get eyeballs on your product, and that is where learning how to do digital marketing comes into play, okay? Learning how to do digital marketing comes into play. Rooted Realms. What the five? I'm trying to. You meant you put a five in the comments. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Is it rooted? Oh, Rooted Dreams or root? Oh no, Rooted Realms or Realms. Yeah. I'm not sure what the five in the comments is meant for, but if you don't mind, like, you can share or explain to me. But yeah, so step number four is getting your audience, okay? And this is where, like I said, this is where most people get hung up, most people get stuck, right? It's the of the four different steps, that's probably going to be like the hardest part and the part where a lot of people end up giving up, okay? Because they're not necessarily seeing the results that they're looking for as quickly as they would like to see them, okay? And that's where a lot of things come into play, whether it's your mindset, right? And your discipline. And here's the thing, right? When it comes to actually, doing the digital marketing, the different things that you need to do, which I'm going to share with you shortly, right? The things that you need to do on a daily basis in order to be successful promoting whatever products that you're promoting and making sales are not rocket science, right? They're actually simple. I'll tell you, it's not. I'm not saying it's easy, okay? But it is simple. There's a difference, and it's in simple terms, right? I'll just put it to you this way, right? The things that you need to do on a daily basis, right, for an extended period of time, promoting your products online, are actually extremely simple to do. Okay. The reason I say it's not necessarily easy, or what might make it a little bit harder for a lot of people to succeed, is the fact that there's a huge component of discipline that's necessary, right? You have to show up every single day for an extended period of time before you start seeing some decent results, okay? And what typically happens is that people who just get started, they will see all these people who are making crazy amounts of money online, and they expect to start getting those kind of results overnight, just like those people that they have been seeing online, okay? And that's a mistake. You can't be comparing your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 10, okay? These people have already been doing this stuff for, like, 10 months, 6 12 months, 2 years and plus, right? You just getting started cannot expect to be, and if you're going the organic route of promoting, which was what we would be doing here, because we're not spending any money on ads just yet, right? But starting out, you cannot expect to be making those same kind of figures within your first month as somebody that has been doing this for an extended period of time, right? And again, there's a specific way to do this, right? If you're posting content online already, like on your various different social media platforms, you're kind of ahead of the game, right? Because you already have an idea of how all these different of whatever platform you're operating on. You already have an idea of how it works, how it operates, how you're getting views, and if you're using them already, chances are you have an idea of how they work, and maybe the sort of things that you might need to do in order to boost your visibility and all that type of stuff. Okay, but inside like Digital Wealth Academy, right, that's where you're going to learn how to do all these things, right? You're going to learn how to promote effectively in a way that generates views and sales, right? You're going to learn how to do that on the various different platforms. They teach you how to do it on YouTube. They teach you how to do it on Pinterest. They teach you how to do it on IG. Of course, yeah, TikTok as well, right? And then there's probably some other platforms, Facebook as well. There's probably some other platforms that I'm missing or forgetting. Let me see what is going on here. I keep getting my live, so I keep getting this message about my live. Okay, all right. So yeah, so all those things you're gonna learn how to do them, right? But like I always compare. I always make this comparison, right? It's one of the easiest ways for people to understand when it comes to like, let's just say I compare this to like say weight loss, right? When it comes to being in shape and being healthy and losing weight and gaining muscles and all that type of stuff, right? Everybody for the most part has a general idea of all the things that they need to be doing in order to be healthy and lose weight, right? Like, eat less, exercise more, right? Sleep well, drink lots of water and all that type of stuff, right? I'm no health expert or anything like that, right? But I'm just saying we all know, all of us have a general idea of all the things that we need to of the things that we should be doing in order to improve our health, right? And not be obese and all that type of stuff, okay? But despite the fact that we all know it, you still see so many people out there. Like, why is it that everybody, when you go out on the street, why is it that everybody's out there not looking like America's Next Top Model, okay? Why is everybody not looking like the most incredibly put together, well in shape, no fat, all that type of stuff, right? It's because it takes a certain amount of discipline, right, to do all these things that are required in order to get you to look that way. Okay, the things that we need to do to be doing, to get into those incredible looking bodies and in shape, right? The things that we need to do, they're not rocket science. They're not complicated. We know what we're supposed to be doing for the most part, right? But we don't do them. Why don't we do them? Because it's hard to consistently stay away from all that sweet stuff and all the things that we like and our guilty pleasures and all that, and to be disciplined, constantly eating clean, right? And constantly exercising on a daily basis and watching what we eat and going to bed on time and waking up, or getting enough sleep and all those type things. That's hard, right? It's not like if it were easy, everybody would look amazing, right? So in the same way, right, and I should say in a similar way, when it comes to like generating an income online, the things that we need to do on a daily basis, right, like creating content and posting it and all that type of stuff, they are and engaging with people and all that. The things that we need to do on a daily basis, they're actually pretty simple. Okay, they're actually pretty simple. What makes it hard for a lot of people to succeed and start earning an income is that commitment, that discipline, and making sure that you're doing everything that you need to be doing on a daily basis. Okay, which is why I was telling you that step four, which is what is going to bring you the traffic to whatever product that you're promoting, which is what I was talking about. Step four is where most people get hung up, right? This is where most people either get overwhelmed or they start and they're not seeing the results that they want as soon as they want them, so they quit, right? They drop out and all that type of stuff. So it's not that's the part that you're going to really have to fix your like really get your mindset ready for, right? And when you come into this, I would tell you that you want to come in with a minimum, like, with a 6 to 12 month horizon, right? You've got to give this a minimum. I always say this is just bare minimum. It's really not enough, but a bare minimum of 3 months, right? You got to give yourself a bare minimum of going at this stuff for 3 months, and honest, like an honest shake, like honest work on a daily basis, doing the bare, the minimum things that I said. Like, so what are some of these things that I'm talking about, right? Looking to post like 3 pieces of content a day on whichever, like, let's just say you're on one of these short form platforms, right? Short form content platforms, the likes of, like, say, TikTok, Instagram, Snap, YouTube Shorts, and stuff like that, right? All these different platforms, LinkedIn, there's so many of them, right? They are going to cater, those, the ones that cater more so to like the short form content, right? The short form vertical style videos. You want to be creating content and posting on those, on any one of them, right? Any one of them at least 3 times per day, every single day, for an extended period of time, right? To start building that momentum, and you have traffic coming in and all that. Once you built your following, built your audience and all that type of stuff, gotten some momentum going, you'll get to the point where you're having eyeballs, you're having traffic coming through constantly, and then at that point you can afford to take a day or two off, and or several days, in between here and there, when you feel, when you feel like it, okay? Because you would have built the kind of momentum that you need to start seeing traffic come through on a long, on a regular basis. And that's where I said you have to do that for, you need to give like a good 3 months, right? You need to give it a good 3 months. And again, it's not just posting any kind of content. You have to post the right kind of content that's going to lead to growth, and that's also going to lead to leads, that's going to lead to conversions and sales and all that type of stuff, okay? So that's the stuff that you have to, that's the stuff that you have to keep in mind, right? When it comes to the audience, right? Now, if you have ever been, like, if all this stuff sounds overwhelming, or if it's like it seems like it's too much and all that, it's really not, okay? It's really not, especially once you finally get in the flow of doing this stuff and you know what you're doing on a regular basis. You're gonna develop, like, you're gonna get into into some kind of routine, right? You're gonna get a routine for it. You're gonna get a hang of it, right? And as you progress, it's going to start getting easier and easier and easier. And that's where all this stuff comes from, where you always see people talking about how, you always hear people talking about how they're just doing like these, making whatever amount of money that they're making on a daily basis, but they're doing it with just 2 to 3 hours of work put in per day. Okay. That's where all that comes into play. Like, they've gone to the point where they've built everything to the point where now it's just smooth sailing, in essence, right? Smooth sailing. They've got their traffic flow, they've got their traffic coming through. And in case you're wondering, like, what kind of content are you supposed to be posting, or what kind of content you're going to be posting, it's predominantly going to be videos, okay? And here's the thing you need to keep in mind: if you don't want to, you do not have to be in these videos, okay? You don't have to be in these videos. They have, there's something called faceless digital marketing, right? Faceless digital marketing. And that's taught inside of Digital Wealth Academy. They'll teach you how to do that, right? Whereby you will learn how to promote products, whatever product it is that you're wanting to promote online, without having to show your face, right? Without having to go on lives like I'm doing right now, and without having to create content that has your face in them or your voice in them, if that is something that you want to do, right? Like, if you're one of those people that for whatever reason you do not want to come on, like, you're more of the shyer type and you don't want to put your face on camera, there's ways to promote without having to put your face on camera, right? You just have to learn how to do it, and that's all going to be available inside. Like all the training is going to teach you how to do all that stuff, how to earn online without necessarily showing your face, if that's something that you want. And by the way, for those of you that are here, make sure that you don't leave empty-handed. Okay, I do have you can grab like the free course that I have available. It's for those of you that are on YouTube, it's going to be the first link in the description below. And then for those of you on TikTok, if you want to check it out, right, if you want to see if you want to see everything that you would be getting in DWA, it's going to be if you are on TikTok, you're just going to have to go to the top left hand side of the screen, click on my profile picture there. Then a bigger profile picture of mine is going to open up, and then you want to click on that again, and that's going to take you to my TikTok store. It's going to take you to my TikTok profile, in which case you want to click on the link right there, right? And that's going to take you to my store. Remember, I told you about like having something like in step 3. I told you about having some kind of platform on which to promote these products. That would be my storefront, right? And you would see mine, right? You would see mine there. And what you're looking for is, if you want to get the free course, it's going to be the first link in that on that storefront. And then if you want to see DWA and see what it's all about and everything that you'd be getting, all the various modules and all the different things you'd be learning, it's going to be the next link, right? The second link on that storefront, right? Check that out, and you'll be able to get access. Now, I did mention that the product is a $497 course, right? However, you do not have to come up with that up front, right? They do have plans available, right? They do have plans available, some as low as you're able to get started for 0 down, right? And only like 43 bucks a month, right? With the first 43 not being due until like 30 days later. So if your issue, like be the whole idea of being, not having money and like all the different excuses that people give to not get started, that is one that they have just completely eliminated, right? Because as a matter of fact, there are some pretty happy and well pretty inspiring stories, right, of like people who were one of those that were able to get started for nothing down, with the first installment not being due until like 30 days later. When you get started for nothing down and you are on those plans, the good thing about it is you get access to everything, right? So it's not like you're limited. You get access to everything, including, like I mentioned, there's 15 different income streams, and including the one where you're able to be an affiliate for the program, and where you're earning an 85% commission. So people have gotten started with nothing down, and within those first 30 days, they've gone through the training, learned everything, and started implementing and started generating an income enough to not only cover the amount of, just a simple $43 of their first payment, but enough to just pay off the entire investment completely, right? So they essentially come out of pocket with nothing, right? They don't have to come out of pocket with anything, right? So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And one of the things that I do, right? One of the things that I do, hi Joseph. One of the things that I do for those who do decide to get started while I'm here on the live with me, those who start with me here on the live, I do offer a bonus of my free coaching and mentorship, right? And which includes you getting my phone number, which means you can text me as often as you want to or need to, right? While for any assistance or any help that you need. Bear in mind, when you do get inside, you will have access to get access to support and training and everything inside there. The community is like 128,000 people in there, right? So I mean, that's a lot of people, and that's for good reason, right? The product it's a pretty good program, and it's the reason why it is the number one growing platform, growing community on school I think in the business category or something like that, right? There's a good reason for that. Okay. So you would get access to all of that, like all the members inside and all that type stuff, and support in there. That they have live trainings every week. And here's the thing, right? Remember when I was saying like it's one thing to know how to do like digital marketing, affiliate marketing, and all that, right? I've been doing this for a while, okay? And you may get in there let's just say you're one of those people that thinks that quite a bit, which you probably do, right? But it's something else when you're learning this stuff, right? How to do more of this stuff, or some of the things that you already know, when you're learning it from six-figure earners, seven-figure earners, eight-figure earners, right? I'm talking about people. It's as crazy as that sounds. We have people in, like, one of the co-creators in there, right? Richard. He has earned, I believe it's what he's approaching, what, 28, like 28 million. Okay. 28 million online selling digital products. Like, just let that sink in for a second, right? And you're learning from somebody like that. Okay. You're bound to pick up some things unless you're already running those kind of numbers. You're bound to pick up some things that will, that are going to help your current process, right? So that's just something, that's something you absolutely need to keep in mind, right? So that's, yeah, like, so I did mention, for those of you that do decide to get on while I'm here on the live, right? Or within an hour of me getting off, which I am about to get off in a little bit, right? So the time right now is like 10:34 Eastern, a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's just say until any let's see, 10:34, let's just say until 11:30, right? So anybody that gets on, that get decides to get started here with me before 11:30, I will be getting off before then, but before 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will get that bonus from me, right? And I will, because I will know when you do get in, right? Because I get an email, right? Like, as soon as you get started, I see the email, and I will send you my personal phone number. The other thing too, for anybody that has any questions, you can put them here in the chat. And if for whatever reason you don't want to post publicly and all that, you can always reach out to me directly and send me a personal, just send me a DM, right? You can reach out to me directly through a DM and ask any questions that you have there, okay? And I'll be sure to respond. But those are essentially, in essence, like, look, when you're looking to get started, those are like the four basic steps that I've just gone through, right? We've been on here for about an hour now, and I've gone through like the four basic steps that you're gonna have to go through, in order to start, like the things that you need to do, right? There's four steps to earning an income online. It's really not that complicated, right? It's just one of those things that you're gonna have to get started in order to start seeing success. If you're looking to, and by the way, if you're not following me already, whether that's on TikTok or on you, if you're not subscribed to me on YouTube, just make sure that you do, because there's especially on TikTok, if you're not following me already, just know that there's going to be a very, very high likelihood that you will not come across me again, right? And I'm saying this from experience, because I remember having been on a live for something else completely different, off topic, that unrelated, that I was on, and I was, captivated by whatever the person was saying, and I completely, I was paying attention, writing down so many, like, certain things and all that, and I completely forgot. I didn't follow them, right? And I could not remember their name to save my life. I have looked for that person forever and ever. I've looked all over and I can't find them. So if you're not already following me right now, make sure you do, because if you don't, and if, let's say, you did want to get back to me and ask questions, or if you have any, or needed some kind of support for anything, right? You might have a hard time finding me unless you remember my name, handle, and all that type of stuff. Okay. But the good thing is, for those, like I mentioned, anybody that does decide to get started with DWA with me here on the live, or before, I'll just say before 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, once you do get on, I will send you my phone number, and you can use that to reach out to me, get all the extra help, support that you need. Okay. And the one thing that I will do for 2 months after your date of purchase, one of the things that I do, I'll get on a Zoom call with you, like 30-minute Zoom call, at least once a week, right? And we will definitely be looking at what you're doing, right? Looking at what you're doing, and that would be me essentially serving as an accountability partner for you, to ensure, like, to shove you and push you to make sure that you're doing the simple things that you need to be doing on a daily basis, in order to give yourself the best possible chance of success, so that you do see results, right? My goal, essentially, if you do get started, my aim for you is to at least, generate like your first sales within those first 30 days, right? And it's gonna, like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this, right, guys? Like, this is not one of those things that you're just going to pick up and then just sit around and do little things here and there when you feel like it, right? If you want to make a change and you really want to start earning, you've got to put in the work, right? There's just no two ways around it. You got to roll up your sleeves and do the work. It's simple work, right? It really is simple work, but you've got to do it, right? It's got to be done, right? So if you're one of those people that you're in a situation right now, like you're not happy with your finances and all that type of stuff, or you're, living paycheck to paycheck, which is, we've all experienced it, right? Like, gone through all that phase of feeling every single time like there's more month than there ever is money. You earn you get your check every single time. By the time your mortgage or your rent comes out and all your different bills and all that type of stuff, you're left with nothing. Sometimes you're even behind, right? And then you're having to dip into credit cards and all that type of stuff. And it's like, you just keep falling behind and behind, and everything, your debt just keeps snowballing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it just feels like a never ending black hole that you can't get out of, right? Things are not going to change on their own overnight, right? If you're one of these people that's just sitting and just saying to yourself that, oh, things are going to get better, or things are going to change, blah blah blah, like, it's, and just magically change and magically hope for it to happen, it's not, right? You have to do something about it, right? And this is where that type of this is a chance for you to actually do something about it, right? um a lot of people, like, before I got started, I that's where I was, right? Working two jobs, and despite doing that, right, a full-time job and a part-time one, and despite doing all of that, that just never seemed to, it just never seemed to be enough, right? At least not enough for me to even get ahead, right? Because when it comes to getting ahead, I've always told people, like, the way to get ahead, and if you want to get rich and wealthy and all that kind of stuff, it's not rocket science, right? It's pretty simple, the things that we need to do. It's pretty simple. Just spend less than you earn, right? Spend less than you make, and invest the difference. Okay, that's for the everyday layman like you and I, right? If you only who's not, we're not going to be the next Zuckerberg creating the next FB, right? Facebook, or the next social media app, or greatest invention and all that type of stuff. That, like, at least maybe you might, right? Maybe you might, but I can say for the majority of us, for 90% plus of people, we are not going to be those people. And if we do want to get ahead, that is the most simple way for us to do it. And if you're in a situation where you're not earning enough to even have a chance to get ahead, right, by investing that difference or putting it into stuff that's going to grow and all that, how do you get ahead? You just can't, right? You're just going through the cycle. You're going with the cycle, like, right, pay check to check, check to check, check to check, check to check, and the cycle just repeats for over and over and over, and you're never moving, right? You've got to do something different, and this is something that the average person that has no prior experience doing anything whatsoever online, this is, like, we live in a completely different world right now. Like, God, like, we are in a place where a lot of the gatekeepers are gone, right? We have access to the internet. We have, like, now regular people are becoming just as famous, and in many cases a lot more famous than a lot of the celebrities that we always look at in Hollywood and all that type of stuff. And why? Because they started to do something online, okay? Online, on the internet, right? Again, and you don't this is that I hope you don't miss my point. The point of doing all this is not to become famous. No, it's not to become famous. It's for you to understand that when you go the digital marketing and affiliate marketing route, you have access to the entire world, right? That's why it is, like, it's one of the few businesses like no other, right? Where you can get started for literally next to nothing, right? Next to nothing, and start earning a lot. Let me just put it that way, right? And you can start earning a lot, right? It's just one of those things where you've got little to lose and everything to gain. Okay, so for those of you that are on here, like, if you're one of the ones here on YouTube, just make sure, like, if go ahead and make you subscribe. Unlike TikTok, right? With YouTube, even if you don't subscribe to me and all that, right, you can easily find me again, because you can just go to your history and you'll see, like, whatever videos that you looked at or whatever and all that type of stuff, right? Whereas with TikTok, if you're not following me already, you need to do that, because if you have any questions that you want to ask me, if you're not asking here on the live and you want to get to me later, if you don't remember me, you don't remember my name and all that type of stuff, you will not, there's a very high chance that you'll probably never come across me again. Okay. So that's that. Before I do jump off, right? Like I always tell people, I like to at least be able to answer anyone and everyone's questions if they do have any. Okay. Before, if you have any questions, any suggest anything that you want to ask, put them in the comment section, right? Like, so I can answer, because that's one of the reasons that I do these lives, is so that I can answer people's questions in real time, right? So I'm able to answer people's questions in real time. But if you're one of those that's ready to get started, if you want to get access to, at the very least, right, don't leave empty-handed. If you want to get access to the free training that I have, it's a free video course that will give you your first real step into getting started with this stuff. You can get it from my profile, right? If you're on YouTube, it's going to be the first link in the description below. If you are on TikTok, all you need to do is just go to the top left hand side of the screen right there, click on my profile link, my profile picture, and it's going to open up a bigger picture of myself. Click on that again. It's going to take you to my TikTok profile. Once you get to my TikTok profile, just click on the link in the bio and it'll take you to my storefront, where you can get access to that free course. And then the next link will be the link to DWA, right? Digital Wealth Academy, where you can take a look at the course, right, and all the modules and all that. And if you do want to get started, you can just scroll down to the bottom and make your purchase, right? As I did mention, you'll see there'll be instructions on there as well on like how to get started for nothing, for nothing down, or where you can get started with those installments. It's essentially, you're just gonna have to like download like those apps. There's like a Klarna, and what's the other one? Sezzle, I believe it is, right? Those are the ones that they have there. And then there's also PayPal Pay Later, right? They have that where it'll break it up into like maybe 4 payments or something like that. So go ahead, check those out. And as a reminder, if you do get started now while I'm on live, right, or within an hour, or by, like I did say, because I did say I was going to jump off here for 5 minutes ago, but by 11, if what was it? Yeah, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? If you get started before 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will see that whenever you do decide to sign up. I will get an email seeing that, and it will show me the time that you got started. And I will send you. You can also send me a DM, right? You can also send me a DM on TikTok to let me know that you got started, and I will send you an email with my phone number. Okay, you can use my phone number to text me as often as you want to. We can jump on a call if need be, right? And then you'll have that extra support from me in addition to the support that you already have inside the community, the DWA Digital Wealth Academy community. Okay, you'll have everything in there. All right, so I'm getting ready to jump off. If you have any questions for me, like, put them in the chat right now before I do go. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. Let me just go scroll through real quick and make sure I didn't miss anyone's questions. Let me see. I don't think I got any, but anybody here before I leave, Joseph, or anybody that's still in here, if you have any questions for me, drop them in the chat. If not, I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna jump off, because I just always want to feel like I'm not leaving anybody hanging. If anybody has any questions for me. If you have no questions for me, drop a 2 in the chat. If you have no questions, drop a 2 in the chat, and then I'll go ahead and hop off. But I guess there's nobody really in here at the moment. So let's see. All right. All right, guys. I guess there's no responses, no nothing. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. All right. Unless you need me to stay for anything, just let me know. But I don't see anything, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. All right. Thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch. You could have been anywhere in the world right now, and you chose to spend that time with me. I don't take it lightly, so and I appreciate it big time. All right, thanks for watching. Ciao.